Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Raw review. Sorry it's a little late. Like I always say, when you're busy, you don't always have time to see everything. Now let's get into the review. We have the very beginnings of Raw. You see Jerry the King Lawler get his butt whooped by CM Punk. Now, from what we understand, it's a pre-tape showing what happened to Jerry Lawler after Michael Cole. And I have my thoughts about Michael Cole after this. But Michael Cole says that Jerry, when his music hit and his video package comes up, he doesn't come out. Find out later that Jerry and Punk have their little say, and Punk kicks the butt of Jerry. Can't work with Cole again. I'm wondering if Jerry did something wrong to be basically not allowed to come into commentary. That I'm not sure about, but it is a good possibility. So the opening segment is with Sheamus. I was actually quite surprised about this. Usually they would open with AJ or they open with CM Punk, but they open with SmackDown's champion, and he's going to talk about Alberto Del Rio. Then you have Punk come out and basically says, "Don't talk to my Chicago people, they're mine," which I kind of like that. That was a good little piece there. You usually have a very long, lengthy promo segment, and I'm not saying this wasn't a bit lengthy. It was. But it felt much better than what they've been doing lately. And when Punk said, when Sheamus said, "You disrespected me. You're disrespecting me right now. You say you want respect. What about me? I'm the world champion." And Punk says, simply raising his championship belt, "You are second best in the world. You're not first best, dude. Step behind me." I enjoyed that part. That was very good for the simple fact that we all know that SmackDown's a B show. It's obvious. And from time to time they'll switch the belts around so they'll have some variety, even though they haven't done it in quite a long time. It's usually the belt that's on Raw is basically the A show. And this time, by them admitting it, not saying I haven't done it before, I found at least in this promo segment it was not bad. Eventually, you have AJ coming out and giving the announcement that there are going to be two main matches. You got Alberto Del Rio with Cena, and then you're going to have champion versus champion before Night of Champions, CM Punk and Sheamus. Not bad. I liked it. Our first match is with Randy Orton and Dolph Ziggler. Now, I really feel that two things I feel here. You have Dolph Ziggler, who I really believe should have won the last match he had with Randy Orton. We didn't need this match. They could have had this match the last time. If Orton's being punished because of what he's done in the wellness program, make him job off the bat. Don't let him win every single match or even sporadic matches. Make him basically learn a lesson. If he has to lose matches, he has to job for quite a while before he really gets back up into the title scene. Let him job on the spot. Yeah, I understand when he first came back, he needed to win against, I think it was Heath Slater, he went up against. But let's be honest, Dolph didn't need to win this now. He could have won it last week. He should have won it last week. Not saying the match wasn't good. It actually was much better than most of the matches they've been having for the last couple of times they've met. And seeing the roll-up with Dolph wasn't bad. But the thing that gets me is that the minute that Dolph is finished, and he's raising his Money in the Bank championship and walks away with Vicky already ahead, you have the Miz come out. I like the Miz, but it would have been better if Miz had been given at least make him wait about a minute and then come out. By stomping on Dolph like that, if you like Dolph or you don't like Dolph, he is the Money in the Bank winner. He needs this. Let's be honest, the fans are bored how they've been doing the Money in the Bank. Ergo Daniel Bryan. But still what they did, I'm not complaining so much about it because what happened in the rest of the night was actually quite good. Now, our next bit was Anger Management Week 2. Oh yes. They went to the next stage of anger management, which was the Anger Collage. It wasn't bad with Daniel Bryan showing the yes and no's there and keeping with his character. It wasn't bad. This still keeps the casual fan going. When it came to Kane, I have to admit that was a bit. That was funny. For myself, I've seen Kane after 2005, I believe, or 4. Even though I started watching in 2002 after being off of it for like 12 years. I never really got a chance to see all the best work of Kane. Now, I'm not saying this is his best work. This is not even close. But seeing him do the fire bit in the can and seeing the people scared, I enjoyed that. Now, at least, it was decent. So I'll take it for that. Now, I wish to say right now that when The Miz was sent to the commentary table, I liked The Miz on commentary. Of course, he became a face on commentary. Doesn't mean he'll be a face when he leaves commentary. At least this time around, I actually enjoyed it for the simple fact that Miz gives... Think about Booker T. Booker T is very over the top. Can you dig it, sucker? Can you, shuck it, duck it, quack, quack, baby? I like how he always talks. I'm not saying The Miz is even close to his stick. No. But this is much better than what we've been getting, honestly. The charisma of Miz is coming out. But you know what's pissed me off about the entire show of Raw when it came to The Miz? Michael Cole. Michael Cole stomped over Miz's words most of the time. I don't know if they gave him enough time to know what needs to be done in commentary, but you know what? Michael Cole didn't have to be that rough with him. I didn't like that. If you got Michael Cole, who's supposed to be a heel commentator, with a now heel turned face commentator, I can understand he has to make it a little rough for him. But in this case, since The Miz doesn't usually do commentary, he didn't have to be that rough with him. Yeah, Miz might have missed his cue a couple of times. It's understandable. Miz really hasn't done commentary much. But he is way more entertaining than Michael Cole. And I'm sorry. If there are Michael Cole fans out there, your boy sucked. I'm sorry. I've never been a very big Michael Cole fan, but this time really pissed the crap out of me. He did not need to go that far with The Miz. And I'm going to bring up a couple of more points during some of the matches. Now, next thing. We have, I said this, I believe, about 2 or 3 videos ago about how Sin Cara needs to work with Red. It's obvious they want to have Rey and Sin Cara go up against each other eventually. Maybe next year at WrestleMania, maybe Elimination Chamber or Royal Rumble. It's obvious. Having a luchador versus a luchador, you need that. They don't have that. The only time when they had it close to it was... Not talking Sin Cara. No. That was crap. Hunico with Sin Cara, they didn't work on their stick. They didn't know what the hell they were doing when they did their match. When was it? Last year, I believe that was Capital Punishment. I don't remember exactly. Who wants to remember? That was crap. Hunico is more he's still young in this. From what I understand, Sin Cara is a little more professional than him. But let's be honest, like I said in my videos, Sin Cara's worked in Japan, possibly. He's obviously worked in Mexico. That's where he gets his fame. I'm sure he worked in Canada. But when it comes to WWE, he needs to bring up his game. He never did. Next to tearing his patella tendon. That was really funny, how the way he tried to jump and he just got caught in the ring ropes. But he needs someone to work with him on... maybe doing promos. He doesn't do any. His ring work and talking with the other opponents. He needs someone to help him, and Rey's the best person. I'm not saying Rey's the very best wrestler there. He is good. I'm still a Rey Mysterio fan, but he needs someone to work with. He needs someone, at least in a tag team for maybe a couple of months, to talk with him to get used to doing the house shows, to get him to see the spots that maybe he's missing, because Rey's been in way longer than him, and Rey's the best person to work with it. And the person that they worked with was Tensai and Cody. Seriously? Tensai and Cody makes no sense. It was better with Damien Sandow. Damien and Cody had such good chemistry together. It's obvious when you saw them that one time, they could play off each other very well. Tensai, Cody was nothing. and then instead of having a DQ, I would have liked to have this match as a disqualification, or maybe a countout or something. Why does Cody have to job? He's already jobbed twice already. He doesn't need it. It's actually, I feel like it's bringing him down a little bit, because I understand when some of the people I heard on videos, even the Off the Rope show, says this won't hurt Cody that much to work with Sin Cara. I get that, but Cody has to still keep up a good heel level, and having him every time when he faces either Rey or Sin Cara, he loses. It's really bad. It would be better if they still let him have a couple of either countouts or disqualifications. Even if it's a loss that's dirty on either side, it's better this way for Cody. And it would help Sin Cara. Having these wins like this doesn't elevate Cody. I don't see it. I don't. And that's sad, because Cody deserves better. Next, we have Anger Management Part 2 of the second week. And then, okay, the falling back part I've heard of. I had friends who've gone through therapy who's done it. I never done it. And it's funny to see it done. Not a funny skit, but it's funny to see it actually done on TV. It wasn't that funny. Not until they had the guy who's playing Harold, and he fell back. Now I admit that was good. That's an old classic. And then having Daniel and Kane says, I thought you were going to catch him. I wasn't going to catch him. I enjoyed that. That was a good skit. It just, when it comes later, what they did with the rest of it, I'll explain it later. Okay, this is the 1 hour main event, and this is what I like to say about Michael Cole. Why is he constantly keeps saying the 2 hour main event? If I understand, Raw starts at 8 o'clock. I can't see Raw until about after 8, maybe 8:05 or 8:10, because I don't have cable. I have to see it online. Nothing goes on before then. So why in the Sam hell does Cole keep saying we are at the 2 hour? Why is he saying that? If there's more that's going on from Raw, I guess I'm missing it. But if there's nothing going on, dude, why the hell you keep saying that? You stupid! That's what I'm saying. Anyway, you have Sheamus and Punk in their match. You know what? It was a great match. You know why? There was no match. This is something that's like old classic heel stuff. They don't do this often. You have basically Punk coming into the ring saying that this is a special day. This is basically Labor Day. Everyone's on a day off. I'm taking one. No punching, no kicking, nothing. He just leaves the ring. And most of the crowd was behind him. I like this for the simple fact, one, if Punk is the champion, which he is, he doesn't need to be doing a 1 hour main event. 1 hour, Michael Cole. One. I don't know why you keep saying it, stupid. But, like I said, having him do this, hopefully, maybe, and I don't believe this, but maybe the brass has figured out, you know what, sometimes we cannot let our champion always have the 1 hour main event. It's better sometimes he doesn't. So I'm hoping they'll do this more than a few times. It doesn't have to be an actual saying I'm taking a personal day, but something else. Now, when this happened, you had AJ trying to figure out what needs to be done next. So, you have Matt Striker see her afterwards, and he's asking, what are you going to do? And at first she acts like she doesn't know who he is. Makes you think, oh, that's part of the what's about to come later. But anyway, she says, wait, I'm going to bring somebody. And she does. Swagger? Really? Okay. You have Swagger going against Sheamus, digging the bottom of the barrel for the jobbers. ADR comes out with Ricardo Rodriguez, sits at the commentary table with Miz and Cole. The match is very short, and surprisingly, you had Sheamus do a submission. I think it was a Texas Cloverleaf. One of the few times you've seen him do it actually on Raw or SmackDown. He might have done it in Superstars at NXT. No, my mistake. When he was on ECW, before he went to SmackDown. I don't know why he said NXT and SmackDown. Sorry, folks. But when he was in ECW, from what I understand, he didn't really do that much submission. So now he has the Texas Cloverleaf to his arsenal. Okay. Now, two things. During the match, you have Alberto Del Rio not saying anything, just staring intently. I at least can say that wasn't bad to do. What few times they actually put the camera on him. The second thing, when the match was over, you have Sheamus facing Alberto. Seeing Ricardo take a bullet for Roberto, now that was a bit surprising for me because the way he did it seemed selfless. And then afterward, when Sheamus is left the ring and Alberto's acting rough with Ricardo, you think he ain't gonna change much. He's still a heel. But later you see him act really concerned about Ricardo. I'm not saying after the match of Night of Champs you're gonna see a Alberto Del Rio face turn. I don't think so. But maybe they're playing with this a little bit because you see how concerned he was with Ricardo. And then when later you see Matt with Alberto and our favorite lawyer, David Otunga, saying we're going to do some suing, he looked very concerned, which I thought was a nice touch. Next, Divas match, Kevin versus Eve. Eve acting nice, sweet, and friendly. Eve winning the match. Eve going to shake Layla's hand. Boring. The only thing that was interesting was a little fight between Layla and The Miz. That was the only part in it that was at least decently interesting. Because the match in the ring was a basic match. Wasn't nothing there. I like Eve. She looks better than Caitlyn. Nicer body, I guess. Caitlyn's more, I don't know. Makes me think of Beth Phoenix. Sorry, Phoenix. Beth Phoenix doesn't really have much curves, but boring. Okay, here's the fun part, which I'm going to say clearly. I'm glad that's happened. Jack Swagger in the background, backstage, says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'm leaving for a while." But he says to AJ, "I'm taking some extended leave. I'm better than this. I can do better." AJ saying everybody's leaving me. Basically, he gives a look. So, sorry, bye. I'm hoping that Jack Swagger finally, if they throw him down to FCW, which I don't think they will, or Superstars, or NXT, or somewhere else. I mean, that just exclusively stays there. But if they keep, let's be honest, if they put him on any one of those shows, he's not going to do anything. If they actually are giving him time off for a couple of months, I really hope they work on his character. Either that or let him go. Let Swagger go. There's nothing there. They make him job too much. He's boring. I'm just hoping if they do rework his character, it'll be better than what it is now because it just sucks. Next, the part 3 of the anger management. You have basically Kane and Daniel Bryan are being told they're the best out of the entire class. And then they start their fight saying who's better than who. And you have the doctor just get pissed to crap off about it. And he looked like he needs anger management, which was a decent touch. You have to show that two people who are just unstable can make anybody infectively unstable. But I think the worst thing about this segment, which that was at least the best part of it, and that's average. The worst part is when they went back to Cole and they went to The Miz and they decided to do the Twitter vote. What should they do? Hug, tag, or fight? Ugh. They ruined this. They ruined it. I'll explain later. Next, Ryback and Jinder Mahal. Short match. That's all that's needed. Jinder was never a strong heel against Ryback. He got squashed again. I'm hoping that they'll move on with Ryback to someone else. This is it. I'm glad that Ryback is getting a good response. But that's all. Next, you have AJ being seen again by Matt Striker. He's been seen a lot. And Matt knocks on the door to ask, what are you going to do now? AJ says that Tina and ADR is now a Falls Count Anywhere match. Well, they had to do something because they didn't have no match at the 1 hour. So, at least you know what you're about to deal with. Ugh. Okay. Here's the sad part. The WWE Universe decides to have in the Twitter vote hug. Oh my goodness gracious. What the hell did they do? They destroyed a beautiful... let's put it like this. When it came to Daniel Bryan and it came to Kane, everyone that I've heard, and including myself, if I'm correct, weren't too fond of how things were working with AJ and when it came down to it. But with the anger management, they actually gave some life into the storyline. But they just destroyed it. And I almost spit because I want to get the foul taste out of my mouth, ladies and gentlemen. I just made that noise like I just go, I just want to hurl. That's how bad it was. Let me put it like this. After they got into the ring, and the commentary from The Miz, which I keep saying The Miz did very good, and basically Cole kept walking over him. I didn't like it. But Miz made that segment more interesting than what happened in the ring. At least the first 3 minutes after the decision was finally made, and they had to decide what to do. It was funny. Seeing those two have to try and hug one another, and they keep chest pumping each other, at least the first 3 minutes was funny. I'll admit that. But after the 3-minute mark, forget it. Not only did it go flat, the people were either saying boring or booing because they couldn't stand it, and then the fight afterward was ridiculous. It was a waste. It was just a big waste, and I'm sad about that. Now, we have, what is it? Santina Morera. Still learning how to do this. Santina Morella and Antonio Cesaro had a rematch. Why not Night of Champions? Short match. They needed a pay-per-view match. It's sad. I'm leaving it at that. Alright, random match. Ryder and basically Heath Slater. Both these guys had some momentum behind them. Slater when it came to before the 1000 episode, and Ryder when he was going after the United States Championship and he looked like he was going to be pushed, dropped. Slater when he was being pushed when he was going up against the Legends, dropped. Both back to where they were, square one. And I feel sorry for the guys. I actually begun to like Heath Slater now because he may look like Wendy 2.0, but he does have some ability to make people laugh, but they give him nothing to do. Like I said before, it would have been better to let him go up against the Legend and try something different. And with Ryder, he could be doing something else. Maybe if he stayed backstage and keep doing his work that he was doing before that brought him up, but they're not even doing that now. So anyway, now this video has already gone up to at least 23 minutes, and I can tell you this is the part I've been loathing since I've been doing this, ladies and gentlemen. Vicky in the ring wanting to face AJ. By the time you had Kane and Daniel Bryan do their hug bit, which just like a vampire sucked the blood out of the audience, it didn't go any better with Vicky. It actually became worse. This was worse, honestly, worse than what happened with Daniel Bryan and Kane. And the crowd really did not like it. Even with the smacks in the face from Vicky into AJ, I was hoping that AJ, and I'm not a fan of AJ like this. It sucks. But I can tell you this, I was hoping AJ was going to call someone from the back, one of the divas, to kick the ass out of Vicky. Nothing. She just freaks out in the ring. Seriously, it sucks. I'm hoping to do something with AJ, but honestly, I don't see it. I don't. Now, the final match of the night, you have Cena versus ADR, Falls Count Anywhere. I can say at least when Cena came out, he came out first. He had the strongest reaction in almost 20 minutes since they did the Kane and the Bryan segment and everything afterward. Everybody was booing him at first, which at least I can say he managed to get a response. I'm not saying that I'm a total Cena fan. I like Cena. At least I did until I understood what he was. but at least he got a better response than almost like 6 people that came out. So it's like, at least that was something. The match itself was not a bad match. Admittedly, they did more work in the ring than they did out of the ring. And by the time they went to the back, and then you have Cena who AA's Alberto Del Rio onto some tool equipment, and as he's turning, Punk whacks him in the head, and Punk pulls him over, Alberto Del Rio over onto Cena to win. By then I was just tired. I was burnt out by this time. So if I had to give an assessment of this video, of this show, about to say video, sorry. If I had to say an assessment of this show, C-. Once Daniel Bryan died, I can tell you that this thing was so terrible. And I had to review it before I did this video. I just feel scrambled. It just sucked. I can't get what I want out. With Daniel Bryan and Kane, that destroyed the show. It did. Before that, the show wasn't too bad. It was actually a decent show. I would have gave it a C+. But after Daniel Bryan and Kane, forget it. Everything went downhill, and I give it almost, a D+. I was going to say C-, B+. This show was not good. And I say this to you, ladies and gentlemen, WWE need to do a better job. Whatever they're going to do with AJ, I hope it's better than what they're doing now. Either they get rid of her, or they do something completely different, because that's one of the pieces that killed the show. Daniel Bryan and Kane, if they continue this and try to make them friends, it's going to kill the show. They got to either break them up or have them do something else. I'm hoping they'll do something better. And my question right now is, I'm curious about something. And I posed this, especially to the Off the Rope show, because I'm going to see if I can do a video response to them. What the hell happened to Justin King? I haven't seen him. I see some other black ref. Dude, who the hell is that black ref? Is that his replacement? If it is, who the hell they think they are? Justin King is the best #1 ref they got. And he should have done WrestleMania if he hadn't had to have his surgery. He's the best ref they have. I miss King. Bring him back. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen.